Good morning again. Well, he has been in the music business for over 4 decades, 4 incredible decades. And Bruce Springsteen is absolutely at the top of his game. The New Jersey native has a hit new album and is about to make a most welcome return to our shores for a series of unmissable live shows. In part 2 of our television exclusive, the boss opens up about his fans and what role Australia had in the making of his new album, High Hopes. Well, it's official. Bruce Springsteen's 18th studio album is a #1 smash. High Hopes is a stunning collection of new material, covers and live fan favourites. 2 of them recorded right here in Australia.
We ended up recording in Sydney, which is something that was the first time we've ever recorded on tour.
You look at your career, so many highlights. How do you instinctively know what to do when you want to do it?
I do what I have my hands on at any given moment. I'd like to play acoustic again, but right now the band is so good and it's really so new. Oh my God, it's just it's wonderful, you know.
Well, this album and this tour and what you're doing now really kind of had its genesis in Australia, didn't it?
It did. That was very unusual. You know, we hadn't been to Australia in about a decade. We didn't go back for a while, but just because you're busy and your kids are little and it was a long ways to go. Kind of last year they all left the house. So we got a little more room now. And so we said, well, let's go back down to Australia because we have had an audience there in the past, you know. And I said, well, that sounds like a good idea.
Last year's Wrecking Ball tour was classic Springsteen, the boss up front of his famous E Street Band.
We're down the band!
With the recent passing of bandmates Clarence Clemens and Danny Federici, the tour and album had an injection of new blood, including Rage Against the Machine's lead guitarist Tom Morello, who definitely added some new flavor to the set.
I'm going to Australia. Well, I always liked the Saints. And I always had a favorite song. Just like so, I said, well, I'm going to open the show with that song. That's going to be our little love letter to Australia, you know.
And with over 200 songs in his repertoire, not even Springsteen knows what he'll be playing on any given night.
And I don't know until I'm look in this crowd and see a sign, you know.
Every night we try to pull one out that we haven't played since we were, I don't know, 16.
Those guys have got to be ready for a lot of music, and they got to be able to go to it immediately.
Many of those young faces experiencing their very first Springsteen concert.
I meet young kids who don't know me from the Man in the Moon, and I meet young kids the exact same age who know everything about you. But I realize when I look down, and you see, you know, you go, okay, that kid's 14 or 15, or we have kids 10, you know, come with their parents and stuff, you know, and you realize that this can only be we haven't been here in 2 years, this has got to be their first show, or possibly second at tops.
Come on and open up your heart.
For his new fans, the boss is as relevant today as he was when their parents and grandparents were buying his albums decades ago.
Well, there's a little rebirth that's occurring, and we feel like we're at the beginning of it, and I think part of the enthusiasm for working has been that, oh no, the band is something a little else right now. So I felt I was born at a great moment to be doing the job I'm doing. There was only 10 years of rock music, but it was 10 years of the invention of rock and roll that came right before I came out. You know, you had Elvis, boom, you had 60s pop, boom, you had the Beatles, boom, you had soul, Motown, boom, you had psychedelic music. That's all in 15 years, you know, it all occurred.
I don't think you'd change too much about your life and your career if you could. But in, I don't know, 100 years' time when we're all gone and they're writing about the history of music, what would you like them to say and remember about it?
I doubt they'd be writing about me in 100 years. I think they'll be writing about Dylan, the Beatles, the Stones.
Come on.
You know, but I try to do the best job I can today, put on the best show I can put on tonight, make the best record I can make right now, and I'm interested in how I'm going to impact and what part I'm going to be of your life at this moment.
Till we meet again, take care of yourself.
He's such a student of the whole music business, isn't he? You know, he's just surveyed it from close quarters and been a huge part of it all the way thing.
Certainly has.
Absolute blast sitting down opposite the boss, and of course High Hopes is out now, and there is still the odd ticket around for Springsteen's tour, which kicks off in Perth in a fortnight. Wonderful, can't wait for those shows. Now listen, while I have your attention, here's a taste of Kylie's new single, which has been leaked online. It's called Into the Blue.
Hang on. Were you just singing the Delta Goodrem song? Is that what I just heard you singing? This is Kylie's song.
You know, all music does sometimes sound the same.
Bit derivative, maybe.
I sang it's a bit like the Arcade Fire song too, but there you go. Kylie definitely sitting on top of the world, and a new single, Into the Blue.
You should be so lucky.
Clever. That's clever.
Bang, I love it.
We love Kylie. Kylie in the country.
Sure do.
Actually catching up with her in the next couple of days to talk about
She's been working hard on this album. Looking forward to it.
Good stuff.
Dream, baby, dream, as the boss would say, Bruce.
There you go.
Bruce? Dickie?
Yes, sir.